Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to share with you 3 super simple, easy DIYs that you can do in an afternoon whenever you feel inspired. So if this is something you're interested in, keep watching. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So happy you stopped by. So as I mentioned at the very beginning, I'm going to be sharing 3 separate, super simple DIY projects that you can knock out in an afternoon, on a weekend, or during the week, on a rainy day, whatever. Very simple, and they really require minimal material. As a matter of fact, I had a lot of the stuff in my own home, and I just had to go out and purchase a few things. This first DIY, I was inspired by those cute little cupcake holders that I see all over Pinterest and Instagram and YouTube. You know the ones I mean. They're the little tiny individual ones that are white, ceramic white, and usually people are finding them at the Target dollar spot. But unfortunately, I don't have a Target anywhere near me because I'm in Canada. And we don't have Target anymore. So I decided to make my own version. And that's what this first one is. So for this project, all I did was I hit up my local Dollar Tree and dollar store to see what I could find. And I found a glass candle holder. And then over in the dishes section, I found a little glass plate. And once I put one on top of the other, I thought, this is perfect. This is exactly what I wanted. So that's what I did. All I did was put some E6000 around the candlestick holder and put the plate on top, and I had my little cupcake stand. But in this case, I will be using it in my kitchen to hold my dish sponge next to my sink. Not that my husband will ever think of using it. I don't know what it is about men, but he does not see when I put anything out to put like the sponges or, you know, the whatever next to the sink. They always end up on the counter. But for me, I like it. It's not an exact replica of the cupcake stand from Target, but it suits my home and my decor, and it cost me the same amount of money. It cost me $2, and that was it. So for my second DIY, I love to make little signs for each of the different seasons, and I will be sure to link up in the cards or down below a couple of my other videos where I have made other signs. I think I made one in the fall, I think I made one at Christmas. I just love making these signs, and they're so easy to do because it's whatever you want to put on your sign. I find these adorable farmhouse signs all the time in all the stores, but again, I'm not willing to pay that kind of money for them. So I had a piece of board lying around my house, and I had all the paints, so I'm going to make myself another sign for spring. So that's what I did here. All I did was take the piece of wood that I already had, and I gave it a quick coat of my pink chalk paint. And once I was done, I realized it was a little too heavy on the pink, so I sanded it off a little bit to try and take down some of the pink. Then I simply took some other paints, acrylic paints that I got at the dollar store again months and months ago, and I just decided to use a bunch of spring colors, and I took the end of a pencil, the eraser part, and I dabbed it in all the different colors and made little polka dots on the sign. Now, in hindsight, I wish I had written my sign first. I just found the polka dots a little bit disorienting when I was trying to write out my words, but hey, no DIY is ever perfect, and nobody can tell except me that I had trouble with the word. I wrote out my sign. I decided to add a little bit of embellishment on the side, and I found in my craft storage bins these leaves with these sparkly butterflies that I used last year for something. So I thought I would incorporate those on the sign as well. So I just hot glued them on, and my sign was done. And I think it looks really cute. So for really no money for this project, I was able to get a little sign for spring that just brightens up a little corner of my home. And it cost me nothing because I had everything on hand. Now this last DIY cost me a little bit more money, only because I didn't buy the florals from the dollar store. Sometimes buying a bunch of flowers at the dollar store doesn't always equate to a savings. So I happened to be in Michael's a few weeks ago, and they had a buy one get one on all their spring florals. So one bunch of these flowers cost me $14.99, $15. So I got one and I got the second one. So really each bunch cost me $7.50, which is a really good deal because they're very full, and I'm not sure I could have done any better at the dollar store. So keep your eye out for these type of sales, because sometimes the dollar store is not always the best option for your florals, especially if you want a lot of them in an arrangement. Sometimes it's better to wait for these kind of deals where you can get bunches of them. Now for the next part of this project, I used a green vase that I already had in my home and a mason jar. And so those were free. And then for the water, I got this idea from Catherine from Do It on a Dime, and she used an acrylic water kit that she found at Walmart for $7. And I was lucky enough to find one. Now, of course, you don't need an acrylic water kit for this. You can just use real water. But what is nice with the acrylic water is it holds the flowers in place. But if you want to be able to use these flowers in another project, then you won't want to use the acrylic water. But everything is supplied in that kit, and all it requires is that you mix the two containers in the kit together and stir it up until the liquid becomes clear. Then you simply pour into your containers that you want to use and place your florals in there. And that's it. They do say to let it dry for 24 to 48 hours. And so that's what I'm going to do. But really, for $22, I got 2 floral arrangements. And I'm telling you, one of these floral arrangements at local decor stores near me cost starting at around $25. So I got 2 for the less than the price of one at a store. I think that's a pretty good deal. And they're in the colors that I love. So that's it, guys. Those are my DIYs, and I told you they were so simple to do. And you can do any one of these or all 3 of them in an afternoon. I think even between letting the paint dry on the sign, I could do something else. It took me maybe an hour and a half to do all 3. And then it's just waiting time. Like for the florals, for the acrylic water and the florals to set, it's 24 to 48 hours. But that's okay. It doesn't take any time at all. These are super simple, and there's nothing I love more than doing a DIY project and looking at it in my home and just the satisfaction of knowing that I created that. I love that feeling. But I'd love to know in the comments below, are you a DIYer? Do you love to do DIYs? And if you do, what are you currently working on? I'd love to know. I'm always wanting to know what other people are doing, because that's where you get inspiration, right? It's from hearing what other people are doing and seeing what they're doing. So let me know in the comments below if you're a DIYer and what's a project that you're currently working on. So I want to thank you guys so much for stopping by. I really enjoy bringing you these videos, and I hope you enjoy watching them. And if you're new to my channel, I would love for you to subscribe. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. And maybe even think about liking and sharing this video to someone that you know loves to do DIYs. Maybe they would enjoy watching something like this. So once again, thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you guys have a fabulous week. Bye.
I've been waiting for this, yeah. It's been up on my mind. Oh, it's hard to resist. Feeling like one of a kind. Oh, now the heart